What we want to achieve with the conference is to provide promotores and community health workers with a really beautiful learning experience where they can get new skills and new knowledge. And that's why you are here this morning, because we want to bring for them workshops that will help them continue their growth. The conference is in Spanish, so we require that the workshops to be presented in Spanish. And we want to join efforts with other organizations to advocate for our communities. Our main purpose is to provide these workshops for the promotores, but if you also have the opportunity and the skills with yourself and your organization to present a workshop for program coordinators or directors, feel free to also present a workshop for the leaders that work with promotores. And what we will be doing today is we will be reviewing the process of submitting your workshop proposal and clarify any doubts or any questions that you may have. So feel free, as I said before, to ask any questions at any moment. We have a part of this organizing committee for the conference. We have the program committee, and that is composed of a group of promotores and leaders that will receive all these proposals and will review them and will select the ones that are more complete, that have all the objectives and are aligned with our topic in the conference. So if you are selected, you will be asked to participate on September 12th at 11 a.m. in English and 5 p.m. in Spanish to provide the logistical information to address any questions. And this is important for you to have at this moment the date, because this is the September 12th is a mandatory meeting if your workshop is selected. One of the important dates is how much time did I have to propose my workshop. You will have until June 12th at 12 a.m. to submit your proposal for the workshop, and any incomplete or late submission will not be considered. Then this is something that we really want to follow, because we receive workshops that came to us later, but we have a big amount of workshops to review. So because we have so many workshops to review and select, if you send it late or you send it incomplete, we will not consider those workshops, those proposals. Our workshop, our conference is focused on supporting promotores. We actually don't charge the cost of the conference for the promotores. We ask them to contribute with an amount that I don't have at this moment. What is the amount for the promotores to participate? But if you are a presenter, you are responsible for the costs that are incurred in your workshop and in the conference participation. But the day that you will be presenting, we don't charge for that registration fee. So if the cost of the conference is $90 for 3 days, the day that you are presenting, it's the percentage of registration that you will not be paying for. Or if you only gonna go to the conference the day that you present your workshop, you don't need to pay for the conference. But we will ask you to register, and if your workshop is selected and you want to participate in the whole conference, those costs you are responsible for. There is different categories of workshops that you can submit, and these categories are very, very general. So mostly any topic could be proposed for a workshop. So we have 6 categories. The first one being mental health and emotional wellness. any workshop that is related to anxiety, depression, self-care, how can I manage my emotions? It's a topic that will be under this category. Workshops that are related to social and environmental health, like pesticides or how to prepare for an emergency could be under social and environmental health. Physical health, if you want to propose a workshop about managing diabetes, high pressure, anything that is related to physical health. Personal and professional development. If you present a workshop that will help the promoter advance in their career or take care of themselves, that is the category that you can choose: personal or professional development. Advocacy and public policy. If we want to present a workshop about changes in the community, that's the category that we will select. Technology, the internet, and social media. This category is for workshops that are related to how to use artificial intelligence or a special app in the phone, how to promote your program through Facebook and social media. What it is important is that you need to select only one category. You won't be able to select different categories. It's if in the topic that you will present, it's only one category per workshop. Let me stop right here. Is there any questions arise until this moment, or let me know if I'm being clear on the information. How are we doing? Questions?
No, all the information is really clear.
Thank you, Tania. Thank you. Okay, it looks like there is no questions. So we cover 6 categories, but then we have type of workshop. So one thing is the category, and the other is the type of workshop. So the type of workshop is like more related to what the participants will be able to learn to do after the workshop. Like if the workshop is in that type of formative of educational, it's a workshop where the presenter, in this case, any of you, will provide information, will provide new data about a topic. If it is a skill building workshop, this workshop will show the promoter or teach the promoter how to do something in a different way or in an improved way. So that's the skills building type of workshop. The participatory research will be a type of workshop where you will present a topic that will be related to new data or findings in a research project. Best practices, it's a type of workshop where you will maybe talk about the program and the way that it's impacting the community. It's a best practice. It's something that a workshop about activities that you've been performing with promotores in the community, and you've been documented this, and this is the result. This is the best practice for this intervention with the community. And the type of program development and sustainability, our workshops we will share our practices. We want the participants to learn about how to implement a certain type of program and where are the resources or the funds to continue with this work. So if I select in the category, the mental health, then in the type, I can see, okay, I will teach the promotores how to do an interview. Then I can choose the type of skill building. I can choose the mental health category, and if I will present more information about depression, could be formative and educational. So the category we selected, and then we selected from this 5 different types, the type of workshop that we will be presenting. And the last part, but not least, is we want to know the level of information on your workshop. If it is fundamental, like basic, like I'm gonna start with the ABCs about depression, or I'm gonna build more information that is intermediate. I will talk more about different resources or different information that is new, but the promoter already know about the fundamentals of the topic. Or if the workshop is advanced, that in order for me to understand the information that you are presenting, I already need to know the basics of the topic that you are presenting. So there is 3 different things that you will need to choose on the proposal: the category, the type, and the label of your workshop. And when you submit your proposal, when you're filling the form, you will not be allowed to put more than one in each of these sections. So you will need to think, okay, I want to do an environmental health workshop that it's educational, and then that is advanced. So I need to choose those 3. And we really want to be aligned in what you are presenting on your plan and your content, your objectives with these 3 selections, because sometimes we receive proposals that don't match what the presenter is choosing. So the requirements for the proposal will be that the workshop will be presented in Spanish, including all the materials that will be used during the presentation. And we also ask you to send us a draft of your materials. Maybe you want to have your PowerPoint completed, but at least a draft of what you will be presented with this proposal. Your proposal requires that the workshop is presented in a way that not only talks about the specific issue, but the holistic needs of the promotores and educators. When I say the holistic needs, is as much information that I can use to guide and to help the promotores understand and apply this information to the community. That's the way we see the holistic needs. And when we talk about developing and mentoring promotores, we know that if we only provide information, it's they may need to also practice and reflect about other things that impact that specific issue that we are covering in our workshop. Also, your proposal or your workshop should be designed interactively to encourage the dialogue and active participation and more participants. One of the things that we look into when we are reviewing the proposals is that if the presenter is using popular education. And when we talk about popular education, we always start by what the participants know, by asking questions, by interacting with the participants. And if we are providing new skills or new information, what is the way that you use to interact with them, or to know that your information that you are presenting is effective? How do you measure the response of the participants in your workshop? And we ask you to submit only one proposal per topic, or later on you will see that we have a link to submit the proposals. you can use the link to only one workshop. If you want to present more than one workshop or submit more than one workshop, you will need to use the one link per workshop. The audience. Who is the audience for your workshop? Mostly promotores, community leaders, community workers, but by different genders. We have seen an increase of male participants in our work in our conference. We also have program coordinators that go to the conference. Some program directors. So we would like to, if you can tell us who can benefit most by participating in your workshop. And also this year, we expecting a group of youth promotores to participate. We've been doing work in the state, working with youth, and we expect them also to be part of the conference. One of the things that is important for also you to know that our conference is not designed to have children. So we only accept in the conference, or the participants are youth and adults in the conference. How are we going with the questions in the chat, Hugo? Do we have any questions? There is anything that I need to be aware?
No, Alma, you don't have any questions in the chat.
Yeah, okay. I hope I have a lot of questions at the end. If you participate in our conference before, you will know that during your workshop, we have moderators and observers participating in each of the workshops. The moderators, what they will do, they will introduce you to the participants in that workshop. So you will have the support of that moderator that is assigned by the program committee. The moderator assignment is to introduce you to the group at the beginning of the workshop. They will ask you if you need any help with the audio visuals or with the materials that you want to pass on to the participants. The moderator can help you with that. Also, monitoring the timing of your workshop. You can ask them, let me know when I have 15 minutes left, or you can tell me when I have 5 minutes left. Or don't tell me the time, but if you pass, they will tell you that the time is over. Collect any evaluations provided by Visión y Compromiso. We have our evaluation for each of the workshops, so you don't need to develop an evaluation for your workshop. We have a general evaluation that we have for each of the workshops, and in the design of your workshop, you will see that we left 5 minutes for the moderator to introduce you, and 5 minutes at the end for the moderator to announce that we have this evaluation and how can they submit it. The observer, that is the other person that will be attending your workshop, and it's most of the time we not even notice that we have an observer. It's also one participant that will be observing the workshop. That person have your plan for the workshop, and it will be giving us the feedback of what they see. If the topic that we announced was presented the way that we have in the plan, if in their perception, how the participants receive the information. So you will be taking notes about the interaction between participants, the exercise, where effective, the achievements, and also what could we improve in the future workshops. So if you are selected in your proposal for a workshop, you can always come back to us and say, I would like to have a copy of the evaluations or the observer notes, the feedback that you received during the conference. And we usually share with you those after the conference. But that's something that you don't need to worry about. Oh, I need to put together an evaluation, or how can I get to know the way that the participants receive the information I provide. So the timing is important. That's why we have the moderator helping you with the time. And so it's 5 minutes for the welcome and introduction. And then you will develop a plan for the 1 hour and 50 minutes that is left, that you will base it on how much time I will dedicate to talk about the topic, how much time I will dedicate to do an exercise or an activity, what type of activity, how can I manage the in a short time, make this interactive. And 5 minutes at the end for the evaluation, as I mentioned before. So it's a total of 2 hours. We really put attention about if you said that you're going to doing a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation, and if you put that you will use 110 minutes in a PowerPoint presentation, we say, well, what is the interaction? What is the activity? So be as detailed as possible. And how do you plan to connect with the participants? Because we really want to catch the way that the topic will be presented, and that will be interactive for the participants in the workshop. So it's 2 hours long, but you have 110 minutes for developing your plan. So how to submit your proposal? That's what we are waiting for, right? Where and how do I submit the proposal? This time we create a link where you're going to be submitting your proposal electronically. So there is a link where all these different questions about your proposal, you will be typing in that link. But if you prefer to send it via email, you can attach your proposal and send it to this email here, that is propuestas@visioncompromiso.org. So this email is important because this is the email that Visión y Compromiso use to have communication with you. If your proposal is selected, you will receive an email from this address. If you want to send us your proposal by email, you will use this address. If you have any question about if we receive your proposal, this is the address that is that will be monitoring in communication to let you know that we did receive it or we haven't get it, and this is our decision about your proposal. Propuestas@visioncompromiso.org. So what is the content of the proposal? What is all these questions that I need to answer to submit my proposal? And we mentioned before that it has to be completed in order to be considered. So this is the link that is in our website to submit your proposal. So you will follow this link, and it's a JOT form. I don't know if you're familiar with JOT form, but it's an online application where you will put the information of your proposal. And I will go through what does this form look like in that link. But let me just cover the proposal and review selection process. So In your proposal, you must to include what topic are you presenting, the type of a topic, and the content skill level of that topic. Make sure that your workshop is relevant to promotores and community health workers, or to coordinators or directors if you put that that's the audience that you want to engage with. Ensuring that the workshop has the goals and objectives clear and consistent. Ensure that the presentation process, the content, the time is consistent, and provided with a description that identifies what need we are responding with that activity. We also want you to present a creative and practical ideas and approach of the topic that you're using or you are covering by using interactive participatory methodologies. We also want to ensure that the content integrates the holistic perspective. We want the presenter to support the information, but also with your experience and resources that you use related to these studies. So we want to know where this information comes from. Your proposal needs to contain all the information required in the submission form and the additional information provided regarding the topic of workshop that we will need to take in consideration. If you present in the conference before and it's the same topic, you may want to tell us like why this topic is important, what was the response, but it's the same topic, but now I'm approaching this topic with new information. Because we don't want to think like, okay, Hugo, you present about communication to the last year. Maybe it's the same workshop. But we want to know, yeah, it's the same topic, but I'm been approaching this with new information. So it's not exactly the same topic from the last year or the previous year. Once again, we will not be considering incomplete proposals that are not submitted by the deadline. And if your workshop promotes any product or are selling any product, we don't include these type of workshops in our conference. If you have any product or any resource that you sell, we ask you to not sell it or not promote it during the workshop. But if any participant asks you about the services that you provide, of course you can connect with them. But it needs to come from the participant. If we have previously received another proposal that addressed the same or similar topic, we try to have a diverse topics during the conference. So if we have different proposals from the same topic, we will need to choose one from the difference that we have. And we consider the proposal do not meet notably the needs and expectations of the promotores, right? If maybe we perceive that that's not the need at the moment. And as I say, it's a group of promotores and agencies that come together and review the proposals for the conference. All the applicants who submit the workshop proposals will be notified by email, not later than June 12th. So by this date, you will receive the information if your workshop it's been part of the program in the conference. And if you have any question, this is great. This is 3 leaders that are working on the program committee that you can contact: Mayra Rubio, Marisela Blancas, and Carmen Aparicio. And if you want to take a picture of this slide, it's important because then you have the main context for the program committee. And as I say before, you can always go to propuestas@visionycompromiso.org. That is the email that is under Mayra's name. And you can always write to that email and ask for information about your proposal. Okay, this is how the form looks like. The section 1, and there is a part that is missing. First, they're gonna ask you this the same information, but about the person that is filling up the form. There is in previous years, by example, I'm sorry, Hugo, because I know you and I'm using you as an example. Let's say that Hugo will present a workshop, but he had an assistant, and he asked his assistant to fill up the form because she knows Hugo and she knows all the content. Hugo informed her about everything. So he's, please fill out this link, this form for me. So the first thing that we will ask is, who is filling this form? And then who will be present the workshop? That could be different people. The one who is filling the form and the one who will be facilitating. So in that case, Hugo's assistant will put her information that she is filling up the form, but then she will put the information of the facilitator as Hugo's information. Like, Hugo is a facilitator, this is his style, works for this organization, the email, the phone, the cell phone number, fax. We don't use fax that much anymore, but you have a fax, and your address. If there is more than one facilitator, we have a cap, we have a limited. You can only have a group of 3 facilitators per workshop. So will be a space on the link and in the form to put the name of the 3 facilitators that will be presenting. We don't accept workshops with more than 3 facilitators. And for each facilitator, you will need to submit all this information, because when we send the confirmation that your workshop has been selected, we send that to the person who filled up the form, but also to the 3 presenters that will be participating in the workshop, that will be facilitating the workshop. So that's the first part of the link. The second part is the title. And we ask you to be very creative in the title, but also descriptive about the topic that you will present. A title that is not too short or too long, right? So think about a title that is spicy, that reflects the topics, and also is not too long, because if it is too long, then we need to ask you to write another title that is shorter. Or that it is more spicy, like we don't want you to put, I'm going to present a topic about depression. It's just like, how can you say it with more spicy way the topic about depression? Then there is a space that I was mentioned before. You will only be able to select one of the categories, one of the workshop types, and one of the workshop's content of skill level. And if you submit your form by the JOT form, you will see that you won't advance if you don't choose one, and you won't be able to choose more than one. But if you use the form where you print it and fill it up, please don't choose more than one, because if it is choose more than one in each of these 3 columns, then we will not consider your proposal. The workshop description, a brief description about what is the topic, what is the relevance for promotores, what is the result of the participants by attending your workshop. We ask you for 3 objectives, learning objectives about the workshop. in result of participating, the promotores, what they will do. Like right here, say will identify at least 3 resources of maternal and child health on the internet. So in this part, you will need to write 3 learning objectives. It's a sentence that will indicate what is, as a result of your workshop, what the participants or the promotores will gain. And we have some examples of learning objectives. Remember that there is objectives about getting information, objectives about learning a new skill, or objectives about changing in the perspectives of the way that we see a specific topic. So by example, promotores will have the opportunities to practice the action plan in a drama partner. So that means that I will have a new skill because I will practice this. Promotores will learn the essential steps for the practice of meditation and take part in a guided session. So here are different examples of learning objectives. As you can see, most of them are very short. It's just a sentence about what the participants will be able to do after participating in your workshop. Then we will need to see the plan. What is the plan to present the workshop? 5 minutes for the welcome, 110 minutes for the plan, and 5 minutes for the evaluation. And this is the way the form looks like in the JOT form, and also if you print it. So here you see type of activity. What is the type of activity? The first is the introduction by the moderator, 5 minutes. We already put it there. We block it. And then you can put an icebreaker on how much time, what is the icebreaker that you're going to do, and as descriptive as possible. Introduction about the topic. Are you going to be talking the general information about communication, and how much time are you going to spend in that introduction of the topic? If you're going to do an activity to put in practice something that you mentioned, like open questions. Okay, entonces we're going to practice developing or asking open questions. How are you going to do that practice, and how much time do you think will take for the participants to practice that? So all the activities, a description of the activity as descriptive as you can. I will tell you, this is the only opportunity that we have to kind of gain what are you trying to accomplish in the workshop. So make sure to give us as much details as you can. And then the time that you will allow for each activity that you will be presenting or practicing in that workshop. A description of interactive activities. If you want to give us more details about the social drama or the practice that you will implement on the workshop, there is a space here for more description of interactive activities. Materials. Submit at least a draft of what you're going to be using during the workshop. If we don't see any materials, then we cannot see the quality of the workshop that you will present. So please send at least draft of those materials that you're going to be using during the workshop. Resources. Where did I get this information from? It's a combination of your biography and with the resource of all this. And an example of your biography. It's a short biography. I know you guys have a lot of experience and we have a lot of accomplishments that we want to talk about. What we ask you to be short and sweet in your biography and do it in English and Spanish. So this is an example of how we expect to receive your biography. This person has over 20 years of experience in his current role at this organization, serving these communities, and why is this work means for them, where it was born, and information about the communities that presenter work with in English and Spanish. So very short. And have in mind what you will like the participants to know about you. So this is an example of the biography. We will ask you for your picture. We put it on our website, not only the workshops, but we also put our presenters once we have the program. So we ask you for a photography that we can share with the participants so they can start getting to know you before the conference. So this is the important dates. Well, I'm gonna stop right here because I cover a lot of information about the content of the proposal. So let me see if there is questions about this information.
There are questions, Alma.
Questions?
On the chat.
Okay. If I choose to present and bring information related to nutrition, allow to present a food demonstration. It will be important for us to know that you are thinking about doing a food demonstration because we need to double check with our venue to see what are the requirements to do the food demonstration. We had food demonstrations in the past, so I will say yes, Anna, but I need to double check. Put it in your proposal so we can have that conversation with the venue. I think that's the only questions about food demonstration. Okay. So this is the important dates for the proposal. June 12th is the deadline at 12 a.m. The email where you will be receiving all the communications, and also that the proposals that are selected, you will receive the notification on July 18th of 2025. If you are selected, if your proposal is selected, you will ask to participate in a webinar on September 12th. The webinar in English will be at 11 a.m. and Spanish at 5 p.m. The registration will open on July 18 to September 7, and we ask all the presenters to register as a participants of the conference. And if you have any questions, once again, you can contact Mayra, our email on propuestas, Marisela Blancas, or Carmen Aparicio. Thank you.